Another alleged victim using the synonym Mia is now on the stand in the Diddy Combs sex trafficking and racketeering trial.
A courtroom went dead silent when a woman known only as Mia took the stand.
To work for Diddy Combs. She says that it was toxic, chaotic, it was exciting.
Her voice shook as she prepared to tell secrets that could destroy one of music's biggest stars forever. This wasn't just another witness. This was someone who saw everything. Someone who lived in fear for years. Someone who finally found the courage to speak up against Diddy Combs. What she said next would leave everyone in shock. The former assistant, who once trusted her boss, was about to reveal the darkest truth anyone could imagine. And what the jury heard would change everything we thought we knew about the man behind the music empire. But before we dive into the most shocking testimony of the entire trial, you need to understand how deep this nightmare really goes. The mystery woman who knew too much, Mia, isn't her real name. The court gave her a fake name to protect her from danger. She worked as Diddy's assistant for years, thinking she was living the dream. Working for a superstar, traveling the world, being part of the music industry's inner circle. But that dream quickly turned into her worst nightmare. She was young when she started working for Diddy, just trying to make it in the entertainment world like so many others. She thought she was lucky to get such a big job. Little did she know she was walking into a trap that would haunt her for the rest of her life. Mia had access to everything. She saw how Diddy really treated people behind closed doors. She witnessed things that would make your stomach turn. And the worst part? She couldn't tell anyone. Not her family, not her friends, not even the police. Why couldn't she speak up? The answer will shock you. But first, let me tell you about the night that started it all. The birthday party from hell. It was Diddy's 40th birthday party in New York. The biggest stars were there. The music was pumping, and everyone was having a good time. Mia had only been working for Diddy for a few months, but she thought things were going well. Her boss seemed happy with her work and even told her she was doing a great job. Then Diddy asked to speak with her alone. They went into the kitchen, away from all the party guests. He offered her 2 drinks, telling her to relax and have fun. Mia thought it was nice that her boss was being so friendly. She drank both shots, even though she hadn't eaten much that day. That's when everything went wrong. The drinks hit her hard, making her feel dizzy and confused. Before she knew what was happening, Diddy pushed her against the wall and kissed her. Mia froze in terror. She couldn't believe what was happening. The next thing she remembered clearly was sitting in a chair as the sun came up, wondering what had happened to her. She tried to convince herself it was just a mistake, that Diddy had been drinking too much. She told herself it would never happen again, but she was dead wrong. And what happened next would be even worse. Trapped in a living nightmare, the assaults didn't stop after that first night. They kept happening over and over again, whenever Diddy wanted. Mia said they were random and scary, happening when his girlfriend wasn't around. She never knew when it would happen next, which made every day terrifying. One of the worst times was at Diddy's house in Los Angeles. Mia was sleeping when she felt someone climb on top of her. It was Diddy. She wasn't allowed to lock her bedroom door, so he could come in whenever he wanted. He told her to be quiet as he attacked her. Mia said she just froze, too scared to move or fight back. It was very quick, but it felt like forever, she told the court, her voice barely above a whisper. The courtroom was so quiet you could hear a pin drop as she described the nightmare she lived through. But why didn't she just quit her job? Why didn't she run away? The answer reveals just how trapped she really was. Mia said she couldn't say no to Diddy about anything, not even ordering a sandwich. She was terrified that if she refused him, he would destroy her life and ruin her future in the entertainment industry. But the physical attacks weren't the only way Diddy controlled her. What he did to her mentally was just as bad. The monster behind the music. During the day, Diddy could be nice to Mia, treating her like a friend or partner. But then, he would flip like a switch, screaming at her and calling her stupid and worthless. He would throw things at her: bowls of food, phones, even a computer that barely missed her head. One time, Diddy grabbed Mia's phone and ran away with it. When she tried to get it back, he slammed her arm in a bathroom door over and over again. She thought her arm might be broken. Later, He threatened to use any embarrassing photos he found on her phone against her if she ever tried to expose him. This wasn't just about hurting one person. Mia witnessed Diddy's violent behavior toward his girlfriend Cassie Ventura too. She saw bruises, black eyes, and cuts on Cassie's face and body. Sometimes the injuries were so bad that Cassie had to hide in hotel rooms until the wounds healed enough to cover with makeup. Mia described cleaning up hotel rooms after Diddy and Cassie stayed there. She said the rooms looked like nightmares, with baby oil, candle wax, and sometimes even blood everywhere. She had to clean everything up before housekeeping came in, making sure nothing could end up on gossip websites. But the most shocking incident happened at a party that would change everything. The night Prince's security had to step in. It was 2010, and there was a party at Prince's house after an awards show. Diddy had told Mia to stay at a hotel with Cassie to keep her company while he spent time with his kids. But when they heard about the amazing party, Mia and Cassie decided to sneak out like rebellious teenagers. They were having the time of their lives, dancing and watching Prince perform. Everything seemed perfect until Mia saw a familiar bucket hat in the crowd. It was Diddy, and he looked furious. When their eyes met, Mia knew they were in serious trouble. She and Cassie tried to run, but Diddy caught up to Cassie outside the house. Mia watched in horror as Diddy tackled Cassie to the ground and started attacking her. The violence was so bad that Prince's security guards had to jump in and stop him from seriously hurting her. The next day, Diddy suspended Mia without pay for being rebellious. But he didn't face any consequences for his violent behavior. That's when Mia realized just how powerful and untouchable Diddy seemed to be. This wasn't the only time she witnessed Diddy's violence toward Cassie. The worst attack happened in Cassie's own apartment, and what Mia saw still haunts her today. The attack that almost killed Cassie. Mia was at Cassie's apartment with celebrity stylist Deontay Nash, helping Cassie pack for a trip. Everything was normal until Diddy showed up, pounding on the door like a madman. He burst in screaming at Cassie, asking if she had been drinking. Without warning, Diddy started attacking Cassie, throwing her to the ground. Mia and Deontay immediately tried to help, jumping on Diddy to get him off of her. But Diddy was too strong and too angry to stop. At one point, Diddy had Deontay in a position where Mia thought he might end his life. She jumped on Diddy's back to try to save her friend, but he threw her against the wall so hard she realized they were all in real danger of being seriously hurt or worse. The attack on Cassie continued. Diddy picked her up, and Mia thought he might actually end her life right there. He slammed Cassie's head into the corner of the bed so hard that blood started gushing everywhere. His eyes turned black, and there was no getting through to him, Mia testified. I was trying to get him to stop, and it was like he was looking through me. After the attack finally ended, Diddy calmly told Mia to call for a plastic surgeon to fix the gash on Cassie's head. He instructed her to lie and say Cassie had fallen because she was drunk. But why did Mia follow his orders? And why didn't anyone call the police? The web of fear and control. Mia explained that she believed Diddy was too powerful for the police to touch. This was years before social media and the Me Too movement gave people courage to speak up against powerful men. She had seen police officers get excited when they met Diddy during traffic stops, treating him like a hero instead of investigating any wrongdoing. Diddy constantly stressed that everything had to be kept secret. Mia was taught that protecting him was part of her job, even when it meant covering up violence. So many people were trying to blackmail Diddy that she started believing reporting anything was the same as blackmail. The music mogul also controlled every aspect of the women's lives. He decided what Cassie could wear, how she did her hair, what music she could release, and even when she could spend time with her friends. If they did something without his permission, something bad and very scary would happen. Mia said Diddy would take away cars, jewelry, and other things he had given them as punishment. If Cassie didn't answer her phone, security would show up at her location. The message was clear. There was no escape from his control. But Mia's testimony revealed something even more disturbing about how Diddy operated his alleged criminal enterprise. The system behind the madness. What makes this case different from just individual crimes is that prosecutors say Diddy was running an entire criminal organization. Mia's testimony shows how this system worked to keep victims silent and loyal. She described how other employees were fired for even suspecting that Diddy was violent toward Cassie. One assistant who thought Diddy had hit Cassie told the chief of staff about her concerns. After an urgent phone call with high-level employees, that assistant was fired immediately. Diddy also told Mia that if anyone sued him, she would have to testify on his behalf and say whatever he wanted her to say. This shows how he used his employees to protect himself from legal trouble. The hotel room cleanup system, the fake stories about injuries, the firing of suspicious employees at all points to an organized effort to hide criminal behavior. Legal experts say this testimony is crucial for proving the racketeering charges against Diddy. But perhaps the most heartbreaking part of Mia's testimony was when she explained why she finally decided to speak up after staying silent for so many years. Breaking the silence. For years, Mia thought she would die with this secret. She was too ashamed and scared to tell anyone what had happened to her. She didn't even know that what happened to her was something she could report to police. "I didn't know that you had to tell the bad things that happened to you if nobody else saw," she said, calling it the most shameful thing of my life. She said part of the reason she's speaking up now is because when you're scared into silence, these things continue to happen to others. Even though testifying is the most traumatizing, the worst thing that's ever happened to me, she felt she had a moral duty to share her story. Mia's courage to speak up has given prosecutors powerful evidence in their case against Diddy. Her testimony backs up what other witnesses like Cassie Ventura have said, showing a pattern of abuse and control that went on for years. But will it be enough to convince a jury that Diddy was running a criminal enterprise? And what does this mean for the dozens of other lawsuits against him? The bombshell that could end everything. Mia's testimony is just part of a massive case against Diddy that includes charges that could put him in prison for life. The prosecution has called 21 witnesses so far, including Cassie Ventura, who testified for nearly 20 hours about the abuse she says she suffered. What makes Mia's testimony so powerful is that she wasn't romantically involved with Diddy like some other witnesses. She was an employee who saw everything from the inside. Her detailed accounts of violence, control, and cover-ups help prosecutors paint a picture of an organized criminal operation. Legal experts say the racketeering charge is challenging because it requires proving Diddy was running a criminal enterprise, not just committing individual crimes. But witness after witness is describing the same pattern of behavior, the same system of control and silence. The defense will likely argue that these witnesses stayed around Diddy because they wanted the celebrity lifestyle and benefits that came with being in his circle. They may claim these were individual choices, not criminal coercion. But Mia's testimony shows just how trapped and terrified the alleged victims were. Her voice shaking as she described being too scared to even order a sandwich without permission shows the level of control Diddy allegedly had over people's lives. What happens next could change everything. The trial is expected to continue for several more weeks, with the defense case potentially stretching into July. Diddy's lawyers will have their chance to cross-examine Mia and challenge her story, looking for any inconsistencies or reasons why the jury shouldn't believe her. But the damage may already be done. Mia's testimony, combined with Cassie's earlier accounts and physical evidence like photos and emails, creates a disturbing picture of systematic abuse and control. If convicted on all charges, Diddy could face up to life in prison. The racketeering charge alone carries serious penalties, and the prosecution seems determined to prove that this wasn't just bad behavior by a celebrity, but organized criminal activity. For Mia, testifying means reliving the worst experiences of her life in front of strangers, cameras, and the man who allegedly tormented her for years. But her courage to speak up may finally bring justice for all the alleged victims who suffered in silence. The question now is whether a jury will believe her story and the stories of other witnesses, or if Diddy's lawyers can create enough doubt to save their client from spending the rest of his life behind bars. One thing is certain. This trial has already changed how we see one of music's biggest stars forever. And there are still more witnesses to come, more secrets to be revealed, and more shocking testimony that could rock the entertainment world to its core. The truth about what really happened behind the scenes of Diddy's empire is finally coming to light. And it's more disturbing than anyone could have imagined.